Yo, what's up with y'all? Hey, yo, I remember this one time, right? I was in like, I was in like third or fourth grade, and school was letting out. And me and my buddy, we was, walking home together. We bobbing and jumping around. We young bulls having a good old time, right? Happy to be out of school, hitting home, probably snack time and all the good stuff, right? So by the time we get to my crib, I'm all loud around bunks, just jumping around. All right, man. I see you later, man. Yeah. Freeze tag. Yeah. How I go see? Yeah, I catch you later, man. All right. Do my homework and stuff. All right, blase, right? So this is down North Philly. So down North Philly, we had these inside porches. Like the porch was an inside joint where it's all the way around. Our joint was a big like plexiglass type joint. Then there was a door, like a storm door. You would come up the steps, open your storm door, you come in the next door. Now you in the inside porch, right? Then you got to go through one more door. Boom, you open that door. Boom, you in the living room, right? So I'm all loud, jumping around. Boom, come through the two doors. Now I'm about to go in that one last door, right? That leads into the living room. And when I do that, boom, I open the door. I'm all loud, jumping around. Grandma, my grandma sitting there, right? My grandma, she's sitting there and she crying. So I'm like, yo, boy, I'm like, girl, what's wrong with you? Why are you crying? She was like this. She was like, shh, shh. My grandma was like, shh, shh. She said, listen. She said, Mom upstairs. Now this is my great grandma. This is her mom. This is my grandma's mom. And she had passed away. Maybe it was a couple years prior, right, to this situation that's going on right now. And my great grandma Mary was her name, and she passed away right upstairs in the middle room. That was her room. So my grandma was like, shh, shh, listen. She said, Mom upstairs. So I'm a young bull. And I'm sitting there see my grandma crying. Now she's saying this. I'm like, yo, grandma bugging. Like, what? To my son, like, what? I'm like, huh? She's like, listen, Mom upstairs. So I get quiet, and I'm sitting there with her. And she crying, but she ain't like bawling. No, she like this, like the sniffle joint. You know what I mean? You see the little tears coming down. The sniffle joint. That's how she was when I came in, right? And then she said what she said, be quiet, listen upstairs. So we sitting there and I'm listening with her. And all I hear, I never forget this. And y'all probably say he crazy. I ain't crazy. I'm telling you what I heard. And all I heard was this. So I said to myself, like, yo, I'm looking at my grandma like, yo, that's great grandma upstairs. I'm a young boy. I'm a young boy. I'm like third, fourth grade. I'm in elementary. I never forget this. Cause I know I ain't in the middle school. That's right across the street from my house. My elementary is right around the corner from my. I'm still coming from around the corner. So I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my grandma like, what the hell? I'm listening and I'm hearing the cough. My great grandma that passed away is up them steps in spirit. She wasn't there, like physically. And I'm hearing the coughs, which is explaining why my grandma was crying when I came in the house. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I was terrified. I ain't gonna lie to you. My room up there, a young boy, we watching all that scary stuff back in the day. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. But I heard what I heard. And me and my grandma, I can't forget all what was said after that. I just looked at her to let her know, like, yo, I'm hearing what you telling me to shh and listen for. I hear it. She coughing. One of the craziest situations of my life. I'll never forget that. And from that day forth, I think I always believed in ghosts and spirits and afterlife. I heard it with my own two ears. I ain't even gonna lie. After that, and from that moment forward, I wouldn't go upstairs. This is a true story. I wouldn't go upstairs by myself. If no one else was up there, I wouldn't go upstairs. And I'm talking about to go to the bathroom and all that. Like the pee and stuff, I would go right out in the backyard. I'll go in the backyard and pee. And I did this for like 2 weeks. Whereas though I probably was the only one there, or it might be other people home, but nobody was upstairs. And I couldn't wait no more. I had to go. I would dip in the backyard. Boom. I was scared to death after hearing them calls. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about that, it's a lot of stuff happening up there. Up there on that second floor in that house. There's a lot of stuff happening up there. But that one thing, I never forget that them calls. I remember my grandma Mary. She passed away upstairs in that room. I was a young boy. I think I probably was like 7, 8. And I never forget the day of her funeral. I was really sick. I was sick bad. I was a young boy. And they told me to stay home, that I didn't have to go. So I didn't go to her funeral. I was really sick. I was sick bad. This one, we was young boy, we had them pajamas with the that was like the full body suit joints. And then you had the feet on them joints, that your feet in them joints too, but the bottom was like that plastic bottom. And they was like slippery, so you run around the house and slide in them joints. Y'all remember them pajamas? The full body joints with the white bottom, the white plasticky soles that you could slide around in. The old school PGs. Yup. And I stayed home. But I remember she passed right upstairs in that middle room. She was old too. She was old as heck. I forget exactly how old she was when she passed. I think she was in her 80s, late 80s. She was old though. She was bedridden ever since I could remember. I was a little kid. She was always in the bed. She was bedridden. And this is back in the days when you didn't need IDs and stuff like that. I was just to be super young around this time. I'm telling y'all, because that's when I can remember. She used to take this snuff. They call it snuff, like tobacco stuff. Came in a little small can with like a little chrome tin top to it, and there was this brown stuff in there, and it reminded me of cocoa, hot cocoa packets. The hot chocolate mix. It looked like that, but it was like tobacco stuff, old school, I guess. Snuff, it was called. And I was young. They used to give me the thing, like when nobody had time to run the store, and I was a young boy. I had nothing to do. The corner store was right there, so they used to give me the thing, the empty container, and tell me to go to the store. You go get 2 of those. Give me the money. I go to the store, get the show. The corner store guys, and they give me the cans and stuff. You go back home, give it to your folks. This is back in the day. You can go to the store and IDs and all that stuff, cigarettes. It wasn't them type times. But I used to have to go get her that snuff. That was her thing. And then she had passed. And I ain't have a real long time with her. Like I said, she was old as heck. I was young. But I remember her, and I remember, you know, how young I was and how old she was when she passed. It wasn't the only memories, you know what I'm saying? Grandma Mary was in the room. I used to go in there. I was a young boy though. Probably go in there, say hi, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm down the steps, out the door, running around and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I'll never forget that day that I heard them calls up those steps from Grandma Mary. That was the wildest thing I think I heard in my life to this day. So I believe in ghosts. I believe in afterlife. Like I said, I ain't go with them steps for like 2 weeks. I was scared to death to go up there. It's like, I mean, oh, she was up there when I know she wasn't supposed to be. I was a young boy. I was like, whoa. I used to go out in the backyard. That was wild. That was wild. But that's what it was. I don't know. I was just sitting here thinking about that. I be thinking about all kinds of stuff. Rest in peace to Grandma Mary. Grandma Mary, look, down that south. You know, we all come from down that south. Augusta, Georgia. And the crazy part, Josh, my Grandma Mary was a white woman. What? Surprise. Hell yeah. She was white woman. Which was being young and seeing, you know what I'm saying? But then my grandma and them, they all like light skin. But her mom was a white woman. I never had, that was the first I ever seen like a white person. It was in the house. Excuse me. And that was my grandma Mary. She was like, you can never be like, oh, I mean, you just type her, you type her. I beg to differ. Rest in peace to Grandma Mary. And rest in peace to Grandma Helen. She since passed away too. I miss everybody I lost in my family. I wish we had more time together. Fix things, make things right, and even keep things neutral. How it was with a lot of us. Rest in peace to those ladies. Graham and great grandma. I love y'all. I miss y'all. And I catch y'all on the next one. Peace.